Hello, welcome to the BT360 podcast, What's Up in Business Travel, a weekly podcast where we update you on what's up this week in the world of business travel. This podcast is great for those who need to know what's happening, all in less than 15 minutes. My name is Ash. Let's get started. It is Monday, August 11th, and we have completed week 31 of 2025. Are you enjoying this podcast? Does this podcast help you stay in the know? Be sure to tell us by sending us a text message. You can do that easily with the link that's available in our show notes on the podcast player that you're using. Now, let's get to the headlines. GBTA is softening its global travel spend outlook. Noting growing headwinds from global trade tensions and economic uncertainty, GBTA projected 2024 spend to increase about 6.6% year over year, but land well shy of the figure forecasted by the association last year. GBTA, in its annual Business Travel Index outlook, projected the 2025 global business travel spend to be at $1.5 trillion, short of the $1.6 trillion that it forecasted last year. Last year's BTI also overestimated the 2024 figure, which GBTA set at $1.46 trillion, short of the $1.48 trillion. While in nominal terms, the 2024 figure was still an all-time high when adjusted for inflation, but it remained 14% below 2019. Air Canada, beginning in January 1st, 2026, will award Aeroplan loyalty program points based on the member spend rather than the distance traveled. Air Canada will also introduce a new mechanism to achieve elite status called status qualifying credits. Members will be able to earn status qualifying credits through eligible flight purchases, Aeroplan credit card spend, and activity within the program's partners. Elite status qualification for the remainder of 2025 remains unchanged. While core benefits for elite members, such as complimentary checked bags, priority service, remain unchanged, they'll start to receive benefits unlocking at every 10,000 points. In addition, beginning in 2027, primary Aerocard premium credit card holders who qualify for elite status can also receive a 10% bonus based on their prior year's earnings. International premium class travel, first and business class, grew by almost 12% last year, outpacing growth in global economy travel of 11.5%. The total number of international premium travelers in 2024 was almost 117 million people, representing 6% of all international passengers. The figures were released in 2024 edition of IATA's World Air Transport Statistics, providing a complete overview of airline metrics related to demand, supply, and performance. With data from over 240 international airlines, the report includes a detailed breakdown of scheduled passenger and cargo traffic demand, scheduled passenger and cargo capacity, an overview of global airline fleets, and top airport pairs. The report found growth in premium travel exceeded economy class travel in Europe, Latin America, Middle East, and North America. Europe remained the largest market for international premium travel, with almost 40 million premium passengers, while premium travelers as a percentage of all travelers was the highest in the Middle East at almost 15%. Leading the regions in terms of percentage growth was APAC, with a year-over-year growth of almost 23%, representing 21 million premium passengers, although it was outpaced in growth by economy class passengers, which were up to almost 29%, with almost 500 million travelers. Sabre's air distribution bookings in the second quarter declined year over year amid what the CEO described as a challenging operating environment, and while the company expects to see growth in the back half of the year, it has tempered its expectations. Air bookings declined 1% year over year in the quarter, which was below the low single-digit growth that Sabre had projected in its previous earnings call. Lodging, ground, and sea bookings were flat year over year, leading to a 1% decline in total bookings for the quarter. Sabre reported $687 million in revenue for the second quarter, down 1% year over year. Distribution revenue was also down 1%, and IT solutions revenue declined 2%. The company had a net loss of almost $257 million in the second quarter, compared with a $70 million net loss in the second quarter of 2024. Now in news that impacts the travel industry. Air France and KLM are notifying customers that their personal information may have been obtained by hackers following unauthorized access to a third-party platform used by the airlines. According to Air France KLM, the unnamed platform is used for customer service, and the hackers gain access to data such as first and last name, contact details, and Flying Blue loyalty program numbers. More sensitive information such as passwords, passports, and credit card numbers have not been compromised. However, the airlines have warned customers to be on the lookout for email and phone phishing attempts. The attacks all seem to be part of a campaign targeting Salesforce instances. A hacker group named Shiny Hunters claims to be behind the attacks, and some links have also been found to the Scattered Spider cybercrime group. The cybersecurity community recently warned airlines that the Scattered Spider group had started to target the airline sector. More than 1,000 flights were delayed and hundreds more were canceled after a tech issue at United Airlines disrupted mainline flights across major hubs in the U.S. In a statement, United Airlines announced that the systems were affected by a technology issue on the night of August 6, but now are all operational. The airline confirmed that the problem was not related to cybersecurity, but instead was caused by an issue with its weight and balance computer system. In a statement on X, the U.S. Department of Transportation Secretary said that the issue was specific to United's operations and unrelated to a broader air traffic control system. Delta Airlines has disputed allegations by lawmakers that it's using AI to set personalized fares as misinformation and insisted that it has zero tolerance for discriminatory or predatory pricing. Delta Airlines raised concerns last month when the president said that Delta intends to set 20% of its fares using artificial intelligence by the end of the year, up from the current 3%. Democrat senators wrote a letter to Delta's CEO to express worries that Delta's individual pricing practices could violate consumers' privacy and also lead to fare price increases up to each individual's consumer's personal pain point. They cited a statement by the CEO to investors last December that Delta's AI pricing technology, powered by Fetcher, can set fares by predicting the amount that people are willing to pay for premium products related to the base fares. They also drew attention to statements by Fetcher's CEO, who said that Fetcher uses AI and all the data that we can get our hands on to set prices, to which lawmakers suggested that could also include the passenger's purchase history, web browsing behavior, geolocation, social media activity, biometric data, and financial status. Let's get to the news of mergers and new partnerships. Southwest airline tickets are now available on Priceline and other travel sites owned by Booking Holdings. The airline's fares are also on Agoda, Booking.com, Cheap Flights, Momondo, Hotels Combined, and Rocket Miles. Southwest began partnering with Booking Holdings' primary meta search engine, Kayak, last year. The move is the latest by Southwest to broaden its retail network, leaving behind its long history of not working with OTAs. Last February, the airline began selling on Expedia Group's OTAs, Expedia.com, Travelocity, Hotwire, Orbitz, and Cheap Tickets. Southwest also began displaying fares on Google Flights. When Southwest reported its Q1 earnings in April, it said early returns from the Expedia partnership were good. 2 months after the initiative began, Southwest said 4 to 5% of the airline's bookings were on Expedia-owned websites, and that most of the customers were new to Southwest or customers that they haven't seen in a long time. On LinkedIn, Kyte's co-founder announced that on-demand car rental platform Kyte is passing the keys to car-sharing marketplace Turo. Turo said that it was acquiring select assets from Kyte, but that the specific terms of the deal were not disclosed. Turo said that the two companies have taken different approaches to mobility, but share a goal to provide alternatives to the traditional car rental market. Turo's peer-to-peer model allows users to rent a car through hosts who have made the vehicles bookable. Kyte offers an app to travelers to book cars for days, weeks, or months at a time, selecting a time and location for a delivery driver to deliver the car. Founded in 2009, Turo is headquartered in San Francisco and currently operates in the US, the UK, Canada, Australia, and France. The company offers a selection of over 1,600 makes and models. IndiGo has entered a strategic codeshare partnership with Jetstar, offering travelers seamless connectivity from India to Australia and New Zealand. For travel beginning September 1st, subject to approvals, The agreement enables bookings via Singapore and Bangkok and Phuket to 14 Jetstar destinations, including Sydney, Gold Coast, and Auckland. The collaboration enables IndiGo customers to enjoy single-ticket itineraries from check-in to simplified transfers across both networks. This marks a key milestone in IndiGo's expansion into premium outbound tourism markets. Oyo has acquired property management company MadeComfy for $50 million. Sharing the news on LinkedIn, the Australia-based company said it had grown into one of the largest short-term rental managers in Australia and New Zealand since being founded in 2015. The company works with more than 1,500 property managers, helping them list and manage properties on platforms including Airbnb. Oyo acquired G6 Hospitality, the parent company of Motel 6 and Studio 6 brands, for $525 million last year. Oyo is continuing its revived expansion in the United States and to date in 2025 has added 150 properties with plans to open another 150 by the end of the year. The new properties have opened in California, Georgia, Illinois, Michigan, Mississippi, Texas, and Virginia. Oyo now has more than 300 properties in the U.S. And now news of new travel services and improvements. Alaska Airlines is starting flights from Seattle to London and Iceland next May, adding to its global expansion following its acquisition of Hawaiian Airlines last year. The airline also unveiled a new livery for its Boeing Dreamliners. New 787s coming off the factory lines will get the fresh paint scheme, which the airline says was inspired by the Northern Lights. When it acquired Hawaiian, which already had wide-body planes in its fleet for long-haul flights over the Pacific, Alaska said it would keep the two brands, which will remain on many aircraft. Uber says it will offer options for women using its ride-sharing service. The company will roll out women preferences in 3 cities, Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Detroit. The features, Uber says, are designed to give women riders and drivers more choice, more confidence, and more flexibility when they use Uber. The new features include a request on demand, which lets women see a list of drivers who are women and select one of those drivers. If the wait time is longer, the company says that the customers can still opt for a faster pickup. Drivers for Uber will have a similar matching feature in the women rider preference toggle switch. Uber says that the new features were inspired when it introduced the service in Saudi Arabia in 2019. Lyft says that it plans to deploy autonomous vehicles in Germany and UK next year. The North American company has partnered with Chinese AI firm Baidu to add its Apollo Go 6th generation autonomous vehicles to the Lyft platform, from which customers can book driverless cars within the app in 2026. Lyft and Baidu aim to have thousands of vehicles across Europe following the initial launch, with the two companies working closely with European regulators and stakeholders to ensure that the vehicles meet all necessary safety standards and regulatory approvals. While Lyft has previously operated solely in the US and Canada, Lyft is expanding its reach into Europe thanks to its acquisition of European mobility app FreeNow. JetBlue said it will launch service this winter from Fort Lauderdale to Tampa and Virginia, and will also bring back service from Fort Lauderdale to Atlanta and Austin. JetBlue also plans to beef up frequencies from Fort Lauderdale to Las Vegas, Los Angeles, Phoenix, and Raleigh-Durham. The increases will bring the airline to 95 daily departures from Fort Lauderdale, serving 37 cities. With that, thank you for joining us, and I would like to ask you to tune in again next week on Monday morning to get your weekly update. We hope that you will make this a regular part of your week and listen in while you're on the move or sitting back and sipping your coffee. You can subscribe to this podcast by searching Business Travel 360 on Apple or Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, or Pandora. Be sure to share this podcast with everyone you know so that they can also benefit from getting to know more about what's up in business travel. You can always find more information on businesstravel360.com. Have a great day and travel well.